what's new, I like to think of it as the stuff we would have shown you at IWCE if we were able to go to Vegas. So without any further ado, I'll hop right into it. So, just a reminder, we've been around a long time, 25 years, but we are part of Mission Critical Electronics. For those of you who don't know it, it's a group of distinct specialty manufacturers with a through line of, power for mission critical applications. So obviously we're on the portable side. We have AC that does electronics for yachts, American Battery Charging that does chargers and electronics, mostly for the rail and turbine industries, Kuzmal, which does electronics for fire trucks, Newmar, and our newest acquisition is Perky's, which does electronics for the back of long-haul trucks. And then we have Xantrex, which does inverters and inverter chargers. They're very common in the ambulance space, work truck, also on the commercial side in RVs. So, all together, we make up mission critical electronics. We're now a $100 million plus business as a group, and that's been helpful in terms of giving us some additional scale, both from the purchasing side, but in terms of engineering resources as well, that we now have a bigger team we can call upon when we need them. So, from the business side, that's what's new. Nothing else has changed. Still, the same teams here. Barry Culbertson still runs the business day to day, and continues to work his ass off, 5, 6, 7 days a week. So nothing's changed there. You're still getting the same dedication you have always gotten from us. So in terms of what's new, the thing we're most excited about is our EVC Chargers, and many of you, it may look familiar as a update of the Logic Charger. We've had the Logic Charger for several years. The only knock on it had been its cost. People love the product. It's very robust, rugged. It opens up a whole lot of places for installation, but it had a hefty price tag. So we undertook an effort to re-engineer it to make it more manufacturable, to go to a lower cost region. We had been producing them in New Zealand, which, as you can imagine, is it's never cost effective to manufacture something on an island, particularly one that's about as far from Maine as you can possibly get. And we also looked at the manufacturing process and went from a lower volume process where we were machining plastics to making an injection mold tool that allows us to injection mold produce the product. So we still have the same compact, rugged design. It's a design that's been in the field for many years. We feel that it's been proven. We're standing behind it with a 2-year warranty. For those that do work on fire trucks, it is NFPA compliant to be installed in cab without the use of a cabinet. So that opens up a whole lot of locations where it can be installed without concern for the radio coming loose in the event of an accident. We see this going, in back walls. We see it put in multiple numbers on the doghouse. It really makes it limitless where you can put it. And because it's got the amps pattern mount, just like the Logic Charger, it can be installed using any RAM or other, commercial off-the-shelf mounting system. One of the other features we added to it was USB charging. We found that, if you were occupying your cigarette lighter with something else, you didn't have a place to charge your personal phone. And so now you've got the ability to charge your personal phone right off the Logic Charger. And like all our chargers, it allows the radio to remain on while in the charger, so you don't have the situation which happens in some chargers where you leave the radio on for transmit, or you use it while it's on the charger. You go to pull it off the charger, and it's actually less charged than when you put it on the charger. And so I think, as I mentioned before, the key change really is the pricing. So now we've gone from a $179 master dealer price on the Logic to a $119 price. This really opens up a number of customers where the other unit at a $280 MSRP or whatever it was just too much. So right now we're shipping for the EVC BK2 for the BK Realm K and G, and the MT19 for the Motorola Apex. And we're going to continue to migrate away from the Logic platform. So as of now, we've got the XTS in the works, the Harris XL200, and the Kenwood NX5000. And those will be rolling out, roughly 1 unit a month over the next 3 or 4 months. And then as we see demand, then we'll certainly be adding other products to the offering. And I will unmute the line in case there. So, as an extension to the single unit charger, we also have our 4-unit charger. And just like we did with the single unit, we looked at the manufacturing process and location, and we took cost out of it. So now, you've got a charger, 4 units. It's generally being installed in the back wall of fire trucks up above the rear jump seat, a location that they weren't using for other equipment because they didn't want to put a cabinet there. Now we're able to do a real easy install. It's low profile. It puts the radios in a great location for access for the firefighters. They can get to them without the need to go all the way into the cab. And the real key takeaway here is the price drop. We've now got a master dealer price of $709. And again, this is a product that when you see it in person, it's incredibly rugged. It's really beefy, substantial. So people really liked it, but they were balking at our, north of $1,000 dealer price and $2,000 plus MSRP. So I think with this, remanufacture, we've got the ability to get it into a much more aggressive price point and open up this as an option for a whole host of customers that, want something more than the Endura for in-vehicle installation. So no questions on that. Key markets, fire rescue obviously is the big one. We're going to be releasing a Tate unit later this year, which we've been very successful on the Logic side selling into utility companies. There's a ton of Tate, and the utility line workers have a lot of those same concerns about ruggedness that we see in the fire market. But I think beyond that, there's applications in law enforcement. We've sold a bunch of them going into the back of command vehicles. And then we're increasingly seeing demand for a rugged charger for railroads. They've got some line workers that have some of those similar concerns. We do stock some of the mounting brackets. You're free to use any RAM mount or any other amps pattern mount that's out there. But we do stock too, an upright mount that's used more for floors or consoles, and then more of a, multi-directional dash mount if you want to have it right on the dash. So smart batteries, this is something I wanted to bring up, and in particular in regards to the Motorola Impress. We've continued to refine our code in the Motorola Impress, and I know that they've made some changes along the way that we had to react to. We just did an audit of all of our batteries in all of the Motorola chargers and radios and readers, and found that we were able to provide, all the same functionality that folks were getting out of the Motorola battery. So if you have customers that, are using the Motorola Impress and are looking for a lower cost alternative, now's a great time to offer up the power products. We'll be very generous with samples because I think more than our other products, this is one, the proof is in the pudding. So, if there's a desire to test it out, please feel free to reach out to anyone at the Hendrickson team or myself or Diane or Holly, and we can arrange a sample to go out to you so you can see that your customer is going to get the same functionality. And I'll say, in particular now with, COVID having such a dramatic impact on budgets, there's going to be a lot of customers who would have never considered anything other than Motorola who are going to have to really look at an alternative if it means they can get, 12 or 13 of our batteries for the same price of 10 of theirs. They're just not going to have the luxury of, unlimited public safety budgets as we've grown accustomed to over the last few years. So, feel free to reach out if you get any questions about the smart batteries, the Impress compatible batteries, and happy to show you we've got product that's going to be dependable, reliable for your customers. So in terms of what's new with batteries, you know, I won't go into all the details and all the models, just to say that, you know, we continue to invest in new products as they come into the market. It's very rare that we get a request for a battery that we don't have. I think I got one of the first ones in a while the other day, and it was for a radio that was end of life 30 years ago. So, you know, we do draw the line somewhere in terms of supporting batteries and radios, but in terms of the new radios, I think we've been pretty much on top of bringing products to market quickly. You know, of particular interest for any who have any customers using the Harris XL200P, if you haven't taken a good look at our high-capacity battery, you definitely should. This is a battery that's, you know, 7 millimeters thicker, but is offering 60% greater runtime than the standard capacity battery. And it's one of the few instances I've seen where a bigger battery is better, because if you breathe heavy near the Harris radio, if it's standing upright on a desk or table, the thing topples over. And our battery just gives it enough extra footprint that it becomes more stable when set upright. So, and again, you know, those are in stock, ready for immediate shipment. If there's products you're beginning to see sales for that you don't see in our catalog, you know, please reach out to one of us, and we'd love to know, do what we can to make sure we're making it available.
Hey, Scott?
Yeah.
Does that battery fit in the OEM charger?
Yeah. One of the nice things about the battery is we were able to size it so it fits with virtually all of their accessories. It works in the OEM charger. The OEM charger will charge it to 100%. It works with almost all of the holsters and carry cases. I think there's one model where it doesn't, but it's an aftermarket one. So it really is a seamless transition. And I'll say, we've come across a lot of customers with that one where they really thought they didn't like the Harris radio because of the battery runtime. And once they got our battery on it, it, you know, completely changed their perspective on the radio.
Nice.
Yep. So in terms of more capacity, we did release a higher capacity Canby 48 for those using, you know, the NX200 series. You know, it's a lot of runtime. It's basically taking the radio to 16 plus hours on a 1080, 26 hours on a 559. So if you have customers that, you know, really want to run that NX200 forever, we've got the battery for it, and those are in stock shipping now. And then if any of you are supporting ICOM, we did release a SGS certified intrinsically safe battery for the F3161. So those are going to be, I guess it's in testing now. It'll be available later this summer, but that'll be a nice option with a, you know, with a higher capacity, you know, 2,500 milliamp hour replacing the 2,000 milliamp hour ICOM BP232. And if I remember correctly, ICOM may have discontinued that battery, so we may be the only option on that one. And then this is an existing product, but I just wanted to draw your attention to the special pricing. The PM KNB78 LIP, we have it, I think it's like $20 off its standard pricing, just trying to get more people to try it. This is a fantastic a fantastic product in that it's 25% thinner than the KNB78 from Kenwood, but it has higher capacity. So if they're looking for a smaller form factor, longer runtime battery, you know, definitely get your customers to give our PM KNB78 LIP a try. So chargers, in addition to the EVC line, you know, what's new with chargers is radio-specific chargers that we introduced at the end of last year. This is, you know, essentially going to be similar to our standard EC line of chargers, with the exception that they don't have interchangeable pods. And unlike our EC chargers, which now have a 2-year warranty, these units only have a 1-year warranty. They're really geared at the lower price radios, the Vertexes, the Hyteras, you know, some of the Motorola more, you know, low-end commercial radios, where price sensitivity is an issue. So if you've got customers that are using one of these 8, families of radios, this might be a good lower cost alternative to either the OEM or to our more full-featured EC line of chargers. And then we also have our hockey puck chargers. And I think this is a great option when folks are looking for a real entry-level solution where they don't want the full feature set of the EC1M, but they want an aftermarket alternative. And I say this is aggressively priced at $27.90, and this is a great place to twist my arm if you're trying to get us into a bundle as part of a rollout. If we can add batteries, a spare battery or the original battery to a new radio rollout, I'm going to do even better on the pricing for these for you all. So don't be afraid to ask if you need to squeeze a little extra margin to make a bid more competitive. This is a great place where you can pick up an extra $10 in margin very easily.
Scott, are those multi-chemistry?
Yeah, they're multi-chemistry. They do the same, battery or radio. They'll do the same top off. It's a lot of product for a small amount of money.
Cool.
And then speaker mics, they're not really applicable in this part of the woods with BK Realm, but we do have our ESM27 microphone available for a number of ICOM, Harris, and Tate radios. We actually just tested it and had it approved on the new the Tate TDMA system. So we've got a real strong offering. It's got all the full features you'd want. Looking equivalent to something like an auto storm mic. So it's got the waterproof, dustproof at IP68. It's got the high-low switch. It's got high volume. It's got the emergency button. And it's all backed by a 3-year warranty. So it's a real strong product. And on top of it, it's available with our private label. So just like we'll do private label on the batteries, we'll do private label on the speaker mics. It's a little bit different in that our label has to meet the same waterproof ratings as the device itself. So we actually print those outside. We don't print them in-house. So there can be a little bit of a lead time as we get you set up and build an inventory of your labels, maybe a week or two. But once we have the labels made, we'll keep inventory of them and be able to turn your product very quickly. And, when we do private labels, this could be a private label for you, representing your dealership information, or for larger accounts, it can be their own information and give them the ability to, distinguish their mics from other departments. So we just did one for a big fire department in Florida where they wanted their own logo and labeling specific for fire. So low minimum order quantity. I will not go any lower than 1 for you guys. So we'll make it easy for you to give us a try and show your customers what we have to offer. And then for those who haven't availed themselves of it, our dealer portal is live. We started this late last year. If you go to our website and look at the bottom of the homepage, there's a link for the dealer portal. There's nothing you would be concerned about your customers seeing, so we don't password it. We want to make it easy for you to access. But it does have all our current brochures, product photos of all of our batteries and chargers, any of the common forms you might need, as well as the MSRP pricing and user manuals. Plus, we've got a link to our video series. We've been trying to create more content of videos, particularly around our more complicated products to, help explain them to your customers. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. If there's something you think would be helpful to have included there that isn't, please, let one of us know, and we'll do our best to accommodate. And that's my pitch. I said 15 minutes, and I took 20, so I apologize for that, but hopefully it's worthwhile.